One of the things that happened to people who survived the concentration camps when they got out was the accusation, what did you do to survive? I know in Israel, and I know this from talking to friends in Israel and their grandparents, that no one wanted to admit they'd been in a concentration camp after they were liberated from Israel after World War II. People assumed that they had worked in the laboratories, that they'd worked in the gas chambers, that they'd done the dirty work in some way for the Nazis, because that was the way to survive. This made the question in Israel after World War II of talking about the concentration camps very difficult. People didn't want to talk about them. There was a stigma accorded to people who had been in the camps for this reason. It was only in the 1960s with the trial of Adolf Eichmann that people started to really stand up and to explain and to give testimony about the horrible experience that they had had. Like a lot of trauma, you need a few years to come to terms with it.
So that's why it took so long for people to start speaking up.
Exactly. And often people who are victims of crimes suffer a lot of shame, guilt, stigmatization. You know, it takes a while to stand up and to talk about the horrible things that have happened to you.
To what extent is Knight sort of Elie Wiesel's version of what he can remember? You know, what is missing from his story? What can't he deal with? You know, what can't he remember? What might he have had to do? And he does talk a little bit about, you know, the guilt he felt when he realized he finally needed his father to die so he could live.
We like stories that are redemptive about the Holocaust. We like stories where people find humanity in the camps, right? Where there's a feeling of the rising of the human spirit in the camp. And we're very uncomfortable with stories by survivors that tell us that, you know what? People did terrible things. The camps was not a rising of the human spirit in the face of adversity. It was just awful. There was no glimmer of hope. Books by Primo Levi, he's trying to recall classical literature in the camps. Dante, he thinks it will help him. He thinks great literature will help me in the camp. He can't remember anything. All he can think about is cabbage and turnips, what he can get to eat. He cannot recall the life-saving force of the humanities, of literature in adversity. No. Kraut und Rüben, cabbage and turnips. Tadeusz Borowski, who writes about the camps, in a book, terrifying book called This Way to the Gas, Ladies and Gentlemen. All he writes about is what I needed to do to survive. The camps was not about humanities showing their best face in adversity. No, you show your worst face because you need to do terrible things in order to get through. And he very, very blatantly and honestly tells you about all the horrible things he did. Horrible things. Let us not feel good about the Holocaust. We cannot feel good about the Holocaust. We should be taking away that we want to protect people from ever having to endure such indignity that their humanity is taken from them, rather than their humanity survives it and is triumphant in the face of it.